is up? Now, we all know LeBron James is a huge liar. Huge liar. He's the boy that cried wolf. Right? He's told a bunch of lies to us. And don't forget to hit the like button coming through the door. Everybody's been biting his head off right now. I'm dead serious. Because LeBron James normally tells a bunch of lies. He is definitely the boy that cried wolf. But see, well, here's the thing about LeBron. LeBron James is what you would call a pathological liar. Because when you're a pathological liar, you just lie for no reason. There's no reason for the lie. Nobody asked anything from you. All right, they're checking us out in Uganda. Now, when you start thinking about what LeBron has done throughout his career, he has been completely dishonest. Completely. There hasn't even been a middle ground. He has been completely dishonest. In a lot of things that has happened during his career. LeBron has always told lies. So if he ever was to tell the truth, it would shock the world. Because no one would believe him. That's exactly what's happening here.
Where you're not comfortable.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite saying. That's my favorite saying.
In this video, we're gonna do something a little different. Saying it's pretty obvious.
Oh, from The Godfather. It's
other part too. Which is the scene or the moment or the phrase or the quote you like more from the movie?
Oh, from The Godfather. It's too many different phrases and too many different lines in that movie to just categorize one.
But which is the one which inspires you, represents you more?
I mean, each movie is 9 hours long. I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, there's so many. I don't know. I'll let you pick one and I'll roll with it. It's a great trilogy.
Okay, right away. He can't give you one quote. Now I get it. These movies can be hard to remember, and sometimes you just can't pick one. But in this case, you got to give him some.
Alex Haley, I don't know how far you are into the book, but what's your biggest takeaway so far?
I kind of just started a couple days ago, but I've read and a lot of notes over the years. This is my first time actually reading this from start to finish. But just a very smart man. And basically, his words in the 60s and what was going on is actually what's going on today still.
This one shouldn't be too surprising. We all know LeBron James is the king of many things, but when it comes to reading the first pages of books, there's no one better. With that being said, that was probably the last time he brought one to a press conference.
I watched the whole game. I seen the whole game. I was at home watching the game, and I said he was going to, before the game even started, when I seen, I said he was probably going to score 70 tonight. I don't know what made me say that, and my friends was with me, and they was like, okay. So when he got to like 70, I was like, well, he might as well go for 80 now. So, I mean, I'm a fan of the game, and to see that performance was unbelievable.
That's right, guys. LeBron James can also predict the future. Well, not quite. He said he was going to drop 70. He ended up dropping 81. But that's pretty impressive that LeBron just knew that was going to happen.
2% of Liverpool. How does that come about?
I read about the franchise and how amazing it is, and I actually made a trip over, to Liverpool as well and see all the sights and the arena and everything. So it was pretty unique.
Yeah, Crouchy is actually a Liverpool legend. He used to play there. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I knew that. I didn't get an opportunity to see him play when he was with the club, but I definitely knew that.
The current captain, Jordan Henderson, just scored his first goal for England the other day. It was amazing to see. Are you a fan of his?
No, absolutely. And I saw a clip of that too. I didn't get an opportunity to actually see the game live, but I saw that he was able to score one in the match the other day, and I thought that was it's pretty unique, the fact that he would do that and then also be with Liverpool Football Club.
Even LeBron knows he's full of it. Trying to hold in his laugh, keep it together.
Did you know he was on the team too? Oh, yeah, I did. So yesterday, everything turns on his head. Let me tell you what happened yesterday, because I want to be clear on this. Yesterday, I just wanted to give you some examples of this man just pathologically lying throughout his whole entire NBA career. Now, so you can have some context. Now, let's get to the next level. You might be saying, well, what's the next level? Glad you asked. The next level is this. LeBron James, oh, and here they are, sabotaging the page. Thank you for stopping the sabotage. But my goodness, here's the thing about LeBron James. He was telling the truth. And all of this deemed from him saying yesterday that, well, everybody responded yesterday, but it really was like Monday, when he stated that everybody was rooting for him to fail when he was coming in the NBA. This aggravated people. Why? I had no idea. People were mad. This dude is lying. He know damn well nobody was rooting for him. You're playing the victim card.
When LeBron James first moved to L.A., he went all John Thompson. What does that mean? That means LeBron James sprayed his own racial epithet on his house and claimed racism to garner favor, to garner sympathy. John Thompson, the famous Georgetown coach, did that after about year 2 or 3 when he was getting his brains beat out at Georgetown. A couple other coaches have tried that, including John Thompson's son Ronnie at Ball State, but people have since seen through it. Well, let's go to LeBron James. It never stops with this man. The purse carrying, I'm upset, 40,000 point scoring, possible GOAT is at it again. LeBron James, well, he's making a claim that nobody wanted him to succeed. Everybody wanted him to fail from the start of his career. That's crap. I mean, it's total crap. I was in Ohio when LeBron James was a high school student, and everybody loved him.
Now, here's where this guy, he starts off on a good train, and he goes off track. Let me tell you something right now. And fair use act, we're doing everything out of commentary use and commentary purposes only. They're even coming with the sabotage right now. There's no need. There's no need. There have been countless others that came out and said LeBron James is lying. Let me tell y'all first right here, LeBron James is telling the truth. He's telling the truth. LeBron James is telling the truth. LeBron James was not liked coming into the NBA. The own Cavs players didn't want him on the team. But besides that, it was all the sports writers, the media pundits from newspapers everywhere saying, why are we going back to the high school student being number one? I thought we were moving past this. We saw the failures. That's what they called it, the failures of Eddie Curry, the underdevelopment of Kwame Brown. That's what they used as a comparison. We saw this. These players are only LeBron's not going to do anything in his first year. Why take him at the first pick of the draft? You need players that can help you now. You're going to have to put this guy on the bench for 2-3 years till he develops, and you can get him out there into the game. Why don't he just go to college? So he can develop 2-3 years in college, and then he can come to the pros. That way you don't have to spend all this money on a guy until he develops. They did not want LeBron James in the game. This guy said, I was in Ohio. Yeah, okay, you're in Ohio. Whoop-de-doo. In Ohio, where he's from, yeah, they're going to love him. But you know the media expands outside of Ohio. LeBron James is telling the truth. They did not like LeBron coming into the league. I was rooting for LeBron to be successful when he came into the league because he had so many people hating on it. The NBA, for the first time in history, dumped all their money into a person coming right out of high school. And it pissed off all the sports pundits, players in the league, his whole Cleveland Cavalier teammates who felt we don't need to be going in this route. The NBA poured all their money and resources into LeBron James coming out of high school, and they didn't know why. And he had a lot of pressure on him. And I'm like, they put a lot of pressure on this 18-year-old kid. I said, they put so much pressure on him. I was like, I just want him to be successful, and actually make it, just to prove these people wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just to make it. Because they added a lot of pressure on him unnecessarily. But he handled it well. Like, he was made for the spotlight. He want to find the camera. He going to do everything they wanted him to do. He was just what they wanted. So, right away, you knew that he was deemed the chosen one. He even tattooed it on his back. Chosen one. He tattooed it on his back. You can't be no more of a servant than that. I told you. You had writers from ESPN, writers in the Chicago Sun-Times, the Chicago Tribunes. You had the New York Post. You had everybody saying this was going to be a failure, or this is an experiment. I don't know why the NBA is doing this. Sure, he's great in high school, but coming into the NBA, he's going to need some time. Why don't he just go to college? They rooted for him. I remember because I was there. I was alive during that time. I was grown, damn near. So I seen it with my own eyes. I read it. They never wanted LeBron James to come to the league. Never. They wanted him to go to college. They were already blaming, oh, we're going to do this again with these high school students. I thought we were getting away from that after the experiment in 2001. Here it is 2 years later, and we're right back with this high school experiment. I remember all of it. And I'm quite sure LeBron James heard all the negative like he's heard the positive. What's up, Bug? So he was telling the truth. A lot of people didn't want him in the league. It's the truth. Oh, no. You got to understand. That has changed so much. LeBron came in the league in 2003. In 2006, they changed the rules. No longer high school players are allowed to go straight to the NBA. That was the rule. See, it was in place back then. See, this is people like Stephen A. Smith. See, Stephen A. Smith was one of those people who was pushing for the high school rule to be, they have to go, they can't go to the NBA to go straight to college. Why was he pushing that rule? He was pushing that narrative because he was paid for by the universities. That's why he would go out to these universities and speak and give his presentations. What other purpose would he be hired? What other purpose would he be hired to go to a university? To speak about sports? For what? You see, people, it's hard for certain people to remember what was said 21 years ago and what the atmosphere was like 21 years ago. People was waiting for LeBron to fail. I was rooting for him to succeed. I wanted him to prove these people wrong because I felt they were so unfair what they were doing to him. I'm like, the NBA put like a target on this kid's back. That's all I was saying. Like, man, they put a target on this guy's back. Well, they're giving him all this hype, all this publicity. They've never done this for anybody. And I'm like, man, can the guy, he's from high school. He's 18 years old. Man, and he handled it. I was like, man, LeBron handled all of this. I didn't think he would be able to. I thought this would, be a lot more of a struggle. He's handling this pretty well. As far as handling the fame and the cameras and all that, he was lovely. Media hound. Loved it. Well, everybody's been coming out for LeBron once he said those words.
He was surprised.
Rob Parker and Chris Broussard, they decided, let's go ahead and go after LeBron James. So that's how they decided they were going to pick through everything. What's up, KB? Salute. Oh yeah, man. You ain't see my super chat in your thing the other day. Well, I had to go in on Charles Barkley. But LeBron is telling the truth. Yeah, LeBron James is telling the truth. No, I told you, Charles Barkley just need to shut the hell up. I'm like, a dude who is not surrounded by anything black until he walk into that damn stadium. It's always those guys that want to talk about what black people should be doing to white folks. Why are you telling white folks what black folks need to be doing when you have no connection to the black communities whatsoever? His own mama was mad at him that he was a Republican. She was Charles. Why are you a Republican? Ma, I'm rich. I can't be no Democrat. I'm rich. I'm trying to keep my money, mama. But he don't go back to see any of his family that he got in Alabama. I don't want to go see them. They're gonna ask me for something. That's how Charles' mentality is. He don't associate with anybody that isn't white and all that stuff. So he ain't even considered black to us no more. Chuck is over there. So my thing is, if you're going to be over there, that's fine. Stay over there, eat them white women out, go on over there and do what you want to do, but don't come speaking over here, speaking about what you don't know. Stay over there. You ain't been black since 84. Stay over there. Nobody asked you to come back over here. Stay over there. Exactly. Ain't nobody going around asking, what should Charles Barkley do? I wonder what Charles think. Nobody cares about that. Now let's listen to this. Shouts out to the Dreamers Pro.
I was in Cleveland a lot early in his career.
Another mistake.
I gotta be honest. I didn't see. I don't agree with the notion that everybody wanted LeBron to fail. I felt like people were excited about this great prodigy coming out of high school, and that they wanted to see, can he be another Michael Jordan, or can he be, close to Jordan or something like that. And so, Rob, remember he had commercials, the Chosen one. There was one, Can I Get a Witness? Or, those witness commercials. Dr. J, I think he was in a commercial with him. You had the 4 LeBrons, in that whole thing he did.
See, right away they mess up. I was in Ohio. Ohio is one place. No one said people in Ohio is not rooting for their Ohio son to be successful. They're talking about the world. In New York, the New York Post, they didn't like LeBron. The New York Times, Chicago Tribune, Chicago Sun-Times, hell, even the Chicago Defender wasn't defending him. For y'all who don't know around the world, the Chicago Defender was like the black newspaper. We get all the black news from the Defender. That's where it used to call the Chicago Defender. And the Defender used to be black news. Okay. So just for everybody who out here don't know about that, that's the black newspaper in Chicago. It's called the Chicago Defender. So now, anybody who didn't understand what was happening during that time, internet wasn't what it was today. Your information came from newspapers. You see it on SportsCenter. They did not want LeBron. They were trying to get away from this. Stephen A. Smith, as I told you, were paid by universities to go and trash high school players coming to the NBA. He was paid for that by these universities. They'd come over there and let him speak, and he was pushing that agenda so that players would go to college. So in 2006, they eliminated the whole process of high school students coming to the NBA. And they tried to focus on 2001 and saying, look at Eddie Curry, look at Kwame Brown, and there's countless others. They made Kwame Brown, because he was the first high school #1 pick before LeBron James, they used him as the punching bag for their whole agenda. LeBron was telling the truth. He actually was telling the truth this time. Yes, they did root for him to fail. Kevin Garnett came up in a time where when he was drafted, he barely played his rookie year. They would bring Kevin Garnett in towards the end of games. Kevin Garnett didn't really play into his second year. They can't be honest when it comes to UKB because it goes against their agenda. They want to use you as the tool. They're not going to say, well, no one was there to really try to develop him. They were just Michael Jordan trying to go win a championship in the first year. This kid just coming into the league. The second year was probably the worst. The first year he got hurt. He was playing until he got hurt and he shut down. Then he came back the second year with a vengeance. Like, all right, I got Oak on my team now. I got all my boys. So now he really trying to make a run for the championship. Yeah, Mike was a mess. Right, you got a kid out of high school who's trying to learn the game, and you don't got time to teach him. And Doug Collins, they just fired the coach that they just brought in the previous year. It's because Mike coming back now. So now they hired Doug because Mike's coming back. Everybody knew that. Why would they go with Doug Collins? Doug did not coach a year after Michael Jordan left. When Mike left, so did Doug. Doug was brought only to coach Michael Jordan. Of course they want to make you look crazy. You think Stephen A. Smith gonna tell the world he was paid by universities to push the narrative that high school students coming into the NBA was a bad idea? That kept the money coming in. That's why he's able to do these doggone the Stephen A. Smith sports camps. He's pushing the narrative on television. He's pushing that narrative everywhere. Right. And he said Kwame was great for us. Kwame Brown was great for us. Mark Jackson said that. He said he was great for us. And this is after his career was done. Like he's at the latter part of his career is when he's in Golden State. He said he was great for us. Setting screens and picking, he was great for us. Mark Jackson came right out and like, well, I don't know what your thing is with him. He was great for us. So this goes against your notion. You had a head coach who's sitting there on his show telling you what Kwame Brown brought to the game, to his team at the latter part of his career. And you sitting here holding a whole opinion about him and his entire ability and saying he can't play basketball. Based off what? You don't be it. Trust me, you are not going to stay in this league. No, 10 plus years. The turnover ratio is about 3, and you're out. So if you can't play the game, you're not going to be on that court for no 10 plus years. But Stephen A. Smith wants to go ahead and pat himself on the back. That's a good boy. Do what you told. So it's not his choice to do it. There's an agenda behind it. See, he's a worker. And as a worker, that's his job, is to create chaos, run around, spread lies, and go with those notions. They said he talked over him. Thanks for telling me that. So if a guy can't play and he makes it 10 plus years, damn, that's crazy. Now, here's the thing that even is more complicated to understand, more than anything in the whole big picture of it, right? They say Michael Jordan said he got small hands. Michael Jordan. If Michael Jordan felt that way about Kwame Brown today, he's holding on to something from like the 2001. If Michael Jordan didn't like Kwame Brown so much as you claim, he wouldn't have brought him back when he had the Bobcats. When he got the Bobcats, he brought Kwame Brown on the team. So if he felt like Kwame Brown couldn't help him and he was such a problem, why would he bring him back on the team? On his team? He never answers that because he can't explain it. Don't you got Michael Jordan on your phone? Don't you got him on speed dial? Call him up. So now, no, it's definitely there. When that team was coming into its own, and Mark Jackson was the coach of that team, Kwame was on that team. He said, he gonna say you're clout chasing. That's what they say. Okay, Buckwheat, since you're confused, let's unconfuse you once again. When I say LeBron James is a bum, now write this down so that you will have it this time, okay? Write it down. Get a pen and paper. I know you can't probably write. Just scribble some lines across the paper. Listen, so you will understand. When I call LeBron James a bum, it is based on the fact that they say he is the greatest player of all times. So compared to the players who are the greatest of all times, LeBron James would be a bum compared to them. So when I say LeBron James is a bum, it's compared to the list of greatest players of all time. Okay? Now you know. Once again, I had to tell you because you don't seem to understand. All right. Now, I don't know why it's hard for them to understand. Then they come back tomorrow with the same question. Right. It's real true. You can't be the greatest player of all times. Look, I don't even have to say it again. I don't even have to say it again. I've already said it enough. So I don't have to say it again. I'll let myself say it away from the GOAT conversation. You can never have lost your confidence on a basketball court and can be considered greatest of all time. This man has lost his confidence in NBA finals. To go to the finals as many times as he did with all the advantages he had, he has come up short. He called himself the greatest player of all time on his own show. When you're great, that's for other people to say about you, not for you to say about yourself. You're trying to convince yourself you're the greatest of all time when you're not. Boom! I can't put it no better than that. So I don't even have to say the words no more. I'll just play the clip and that's that. And for Stephen A. Smith, I want to say this to you, especially about Kwame Brown. You keep talking about, I've apologized. Did you actually reach out to him as a journalist as you claim you are? Have you ever tried to contact Kwame Brown to apologize to him face to face or man to man, at least on the phone, right? You keep going on everybody else's show talking about, I apologize. No. Go on the same platform you disrespected that man on. You have disrespected that man on a national broadcast or whatever around the world, ESPN. Millions of people are watching. Don't go on somebody's podcast show that ain't getting that light saying, I apologize. No, that's phony. You go right back to the same platform you disrespected me on and do it. That's what you're supposed to do if you really mean it. But you want to play the victim. But he just keeps going in on me. So I'm saying, go ahead for your clicks. Okay. That's pretty strong. He don't want that dialogue because there's nothing he could say to Kwame Brown. What could he say to Kwame Brown? Adrian, you supposed to be a Golden State Warriors fan. When Golden State was coming into their own, you just saw your head coach, Mark Jackson, sit right there and tell you how great Kwame Brown was for the team. So why would you sit there and denounce anything that he's doing now? Now, if the head coach told you he was great, he probably haven't spoken to Kwame Brown in about 10 years. He wasn't a good player based off of what? How are you making that determination? Do you know what a team may need? Kwame was an athletic 7-footer who could go out, set hard screens. He did so many things on the basketball court that you just didn't see. Did you see him not getting back on defense? At 7 feet, he was probably one of the fastest guys. At 7 feet. Did you know that? So when a head coach who tells you what the player brought to his team says it right in front of you, like, man, he was great for me. Like, he did everything I asked him to do. And for you to sit here and say, he wasn't a good player. You're going off the propaganda. You're going off what they told you. You don't understand the game. You probably became a Warriors fan once they started winning championships. And that's okay. We get it. Well, Bob, we tell the truth here. And that's the thing. Was Kwame Brown given the same chances as LeBron James? Absolutely not. LeBron James came into the NBA as the first option on the team. Ricky Davis was the first option on the team. They had a team already to ball. They didn't feel like they needed LeBron. They came in there and said he could do whatever he wants. They told Paul Silas, let LeBron be LeBron. So Paul Silas couldn't even coach the way he wanted to coach. Not when it came to LeBron. LeBron had everything laid out at his feet because the NBA wanted to promote this guy as the next Jordan. They were mad. Y'all act like it was just Kwame Brown. They had, 5 players out of high school go in the first 10 picks? It was like, I know 3, Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry, and Kwame Brown went in the top 5. They were in the top 5. 3 players from high school went in the top 5 picks. Now, who's not going to like that? The NCAA. Because now more people are going to say, man, I ain't going to college. I'm going to the league. So this is a problem for them. So they're going to compile with all of their little sports writing buddies, and they're going to tell them, hey, you need to be talking bad about this. This is bad for the league. I mean, don't you agree? And they slide them that check, and yeah, we want you to come speak at the university this year. But don't you agree? Yeah, you should be talking about that on your show today. And they slide them that check, and then next thing you know, you got Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, I don't really agree that Kwame Brown should have even come out. I think he should have went to college. Of course you do. Because they sliding you that damn check. And they hit you with that, don't you agree? Sure, we'll let you speak at our university. He spoke at a university that never even had an identity for a basketball program. Melo was Rookie of the Year. But when you see LeBron get that trophy, you know what the agenda was. It was never for Melo. It was never for Carmelo Anthony. They used Carmelo Anthony to make him the rival for LeBron James. He went and won a national championship in 1 year in Syracuse. And as soon as he won, he was like, all right, I won for Syracuse. He went to the pros. Hell, he should have been the number 1 pick. He led his team to the playoffs. That team went to the playoffs. And they were trying to make Melo LeBron's rival. Like he was the bad guy and LeBron was the protagonist and antagonist. LeBron's the protagonist and Melo's the antagonist. Melo was Rookie of the Month every month. LeBron James was never Rookie of the Month and won MVP. Won Rookie of the Year. How the hell you do that? Yeah. They're not ready for the truth. They want to stay in the matrix. They want to live in the lie because they believe the lie so much that they don't want to let it go. They still waiting on that Easter bunny to come. They waiting on Easter. They think the Easter bunny is coming with chocolate eggs every year. That Easter bunny is coming. Yeah, every year. So LeBron was telling the truth. They didn't like him. They were against him coming into the league. There was a lot of people against him coming to the league. And how the NBA was spending all of this money backing LeBron James coming into the NBA. Carmelo Anthony had just as many points as LeBron James. And out of the blue, they tell him after his season in OKC, after he went and played with Russ in Oklahoma City, him and Paul George, right? When Melo went and played for them, you know what they did? Do you know what they did? They went ahead, while he was playing for them, they went ahead and made a decision. They said, oh, okay, we don't like what you did. You tried to go over there to OKC and help Russ out, you and Paul George, and they split that team up after 1 year. 1 year. Paul George even announced Melo was out. Then it was Paul George. He made an announcement he was staying with Russ. Next thing you know, he was gone. Then Russ was gone. They had 1 year. And they split the whole team up. Then Carmelo Anthony couldn't get any starting position on any team in the NBA. Carmelo Anthony could not start on no basketball team no more. He would have to accept coming off of the bench. And he was like, what? Why? Because both guys was on course to pass the scoring record. And they can't have that happen with Carmelo Anthony. How great would it be for LeBron to break it if Carmelo is right behind him? They were too close in points. So the only way LeBron got that distance over Carmelo is when they put Carmelo Anthony on the bench, plus he had to miss some seasons. So now his points drop because his minutes drop. Now LeBron is stacking up. Then Carmelo's not playing for about a year. Then he comes back and joins a team mid-season. Look, LeBron's numbers are still going up. Now there's distance. And people didn't realize it until I tell them that Carmelo Anthony is 9th all time. Kevin Durant just passed him. So if Carmelo Anthony, with all the sabotage they did, is 9th all time, what do you think? Where will you think he would be at now if they didn't mess with him? If the NBA didn't come in and do what they did to him? He would be right next to LeBron. What they don't want. While 23, he wouldn't be in the league if he didn't accept it. Why was he qualified for MVP while playing with Bosh and Wade? Here's the thing. Here's why he was qualified for MVP. Because they felt he brought the most out of any team, or any player that year. The year they gave it to him in Cleveland, when he won the MVP in Cleveland, that was clearly Dwayne Wade's comeback season trophy. Like, he was the most valuable player that year. Wade destroyed the league. When he got his knee back, because everybody thought Dwayne Wade was done, and he came back that year and destroyed the league. D Wade was vicious. There could be only one. Absolutely. So all these pundits and writers now are trying to rechange history. They're trying to change history and say, oh, I was in Ohio and everybody was rooting for him. Everybody's going to root for LeBron in Ohio. Who said somebody in Ohio wasn't rooting for LeBron to make it and be a success? The sports world is bigger than Ohio. Nobody was rooting for him. So they was like, oh, LeBron, you just victim blaming. But I'm like, I can't lie on LeBron. I'm going to tell the truth. He's telling the truth. They were rooting for him to fail. And there were a lot of college, NCAA, they couldn't wait for LeBron to fail. And then 3 years later, after LeBron, they made sure there was going to be no more high school first-round draft picks. So since 2006, no high school player can come to the league. They got to at least go to college. They got to do 1 year. Of course you don't. Of course you don't, Donnie. It depends on how old you are. How old were you when LeBron came to the league? He's been playing for 21 years. So if you're 25, you probably don't remember nothing but Barney or something. Or the Teletubbies. Now, for everybody who's 35 and up, it's straight like this. Every time they promote a milestone, how is it a milestone? They're like, 40,000 is a milestone. I mean, what's the milestone? You've already broke the scoring record. So every point you score is going to be a milestone. So that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Oh, they don't want that. They don't want that at all. Well, thank you, Strictly. Oh, he was talking to Kwame. I thought it said Carcino for life. Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, oh, thank you. Hey. Kwame appreciates it strictly. He was damn you and your success. Kwame, more success to you. Oh man. No, LeBron, he's the boy that cried wolf. The time when the boy was like, wolf, wolf, nobody believed him. His ass got ate up. Because he always was crying wolf. And the time he cried wolf for real, nobody came to help him. And he was wolf, wolf, and the wolf tore his ass up. My sister lived in Akron. She wasn't rooting for LeBron. She saw a big fat man running down the street chasing LeBron's car. I'm talking about fans of the sport. Like, your sister is one person in Ohio. The majority of Ohio is rooting for LeBron to make it. Okay? They're rooting for LeBron to make it, period. All of a sudden, it's all this interference with people trying to come in and do things to the internet and everything else. It's crazy. Yep, sabotage. They don't like to hear the truth come out. See, when you start cooking, that's when they come with that garbage. Now, LeBron James, who has been a pathological liar the majority of his career, everyone has saw that. LeBron has been a pathological liar. And he was the boy that cried wolf. And he lies about everything because his thing is he lie unnecessarily. No one would even ask him nothing. He just would start lying to pass off whatever agenda the NBA wanted him to do. This is when I stopped supporting him, when he was going along with this agenda of the league. And I want everybody here to understand something. Quit saying LeBron James in the decision, and it was the decision, and LeBron James, and if he didn't do that decision, LeBron James did the decision. And that was the worst mistake of LeBron's career. It was an event planned by ESPN. ESPN broadcast the decision. So ESPN know what's going on. They the ones sitting LeBron there and made this whole theatrical performance. So ESPN is responsible. Okay? The National Basketball Association, they are responsible. They knew he was going to Miami. You think they found out once he announced he's going to Miami? No, they knew where he was going. Dwayne Wade said in his own documentary that LeBron James told him he was coming to Miami to join him. And he just didn't believe it till they did the decision, and he's watching this in a restaurant. And he was like, man, I didn't hear nothing back from LeBron for a while. Like, he wasn't answering my call, really. So he thought, damn, well, he probably ain't coming. And sure enough, they had the decision on TV. And here it is. He hear it on there, and he was like, he still wasn't sure that LeBron was going to come to Miami. And sure enough, he said he was taking his talents to South Beach. And Wade was all right. He's a man of his word. He's coming here. So he already told him. So he already told Wade he was coming to join him in Miami. The year prior, they tried to get Chris Paul. The year prior, they wanted to get Chris Paul on the team. But him and D Wade was fighting over the number 3. Chris Paul has always been number 3. Wade is like, I damn sure ain't changing my number. So you ain't coming here. And sure enough, Wade got carte blanche. You have no carte blanche here, Chris Paul. You're not going to be number 3. So that was out. If he can't be number 3, he ain't coming. So that was done. That was a quick decision. Now, mom's calling to check in on me since I've been under the weather, and I done lost about 7 pounds in 2 days. So mom's calling to check on me. Kwame did not play his entire career with Michael Jordan. So why is it all Michael Jordan's fault? I thought the Republicans didn't blame other people for their problems. I don't know if Kwame Brown is a Republican or not. But what do you mean? Okay, when he wasn't there anymore, Kwame Brown was putting up numbers. They went and got Gilbert Arenas, and Gilbert Arenas became the number 1 prospect that they had on the team. But he was having his best season. But I don't have to defend Kwame Brown's NBA basketball career. He's played over 10 years in the league. So people kept giving him contracts. Kwame Brown brought him to the Los Angeles Lakers. If the Los Angeles Lakers bring in Kwame Brown and Kobe Bryant don't want you on the team, you're not going to be on the team. Right. I've never heard Kwame Brown says he was a Republican. He's just not a Democrat. And that's the same thing I have been. Could make an independent choice. Meaning that sometimes a Republican might be the right person for the job. Sometimes maybe the Democrat over here knows what he's talking about. Maybe this guy who's independently running knows what's best. He makes the most sense. Well, see, they don't want to hear stuff like that because they only want to hear what's negative about somebody. That's why Stephen A. Smith was so dismissive of Mark Jackson, as he forgot. Stephen A. Smith sat there on that couch. He didn't even know Mark Jackson coached Kwame Brown. He didn't even know that. And he's supposed to be a sports journalist. He was like trying to wave that off. You're waving off a coach who's basically disproving your entire argument. He didn't even know. He didn't even know that. And he said, well, we had him in Golden State, and he was great for us. And he kind of waved that off. Yeah, but let's go back to 2001 when he was a rookie. He got small hands. I would have never said that. But he keeps talking about clickbait, using me for clickbait. You go on your shows and you keep mentioning every week, you've been mentioning Kwame Brown's name. Then you want to try to do everything Kwame Brown's doing. Because here's the thing, Stephen A., you haven't built your page up off of sports. Every time you talking about sports on the Stephen A. Smith show, it don't move nothing. Whenever you start talking about something outside of sports, that's when you start to get your views. Whenever he talks about, he said, you can't find nobody that will argue with me on what I'm saying. Well, we had them in Golden State. He was great for us. I know. That shut him down completely. Your argument was right across from you. 2 steps. Your argument was right there. Your argument was 2 steps away. But all Stephen A. did was prove he's a hack. That's it. He's not a real journalist. He's a hack. He was selected to be in that position. Because ESPN knew he was a hack, and that's why they let him go the first time. They was like, we don't need you. You think you're not talented like Stuart Scott. He's a hack. And he's been getting away with it for years for being a hack. He learned all these big words he don't know the meaning of, and he runs around out here just boastfully bragging and thinking he know the game. He don't walk like a ball player. He don't even walk like somebody that played ball. He has no coordination, nothing. He's falling all over the floor because he ain't used to doing no movement like running. I'm serious. You seen this guy? Yeah, they come with the sabotage, don't they? Stephen A. walk in the room like this. His legs is in front of his body. His body out here. His leg way out here. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Walk like them 1970s old people. Yeah. He walking around like this, bow-legged. Yeah. Come on, give me the rock. Come on, get on Stephen A. the rock. He ain't got no athletic move in his body. That boy ain't got no athletic bone in his damn body. And you and Steph Curry. That man ain't got no athletic move in his damn body. They knocked everybody off. My Wi-Fi went down. They knocked everybody offline. He walked like he got scoliosis. He probably do. That's probably why his bones is all brittle and breaking every time he falls. Whoa, good Lord. So what he want to do is copy Kwame Brown now. Every time Kwame talk about current events, now he want to talk about current events. His jump shot's the saddest one in history. I told you, it's that walk. It's that walk. When you see him coming in there, walking in there, he ain't got no movement. That dude coming in, legs in front of his body. Yeah, come on. Bow legged. Yeah, give me the rock. Yeah. His legs is in front of his whole body. No basketball coordination. Give me that. Yeah. Yeah, it's your boy Steven A. That dude ain't got no coordination whatsoever. You ever see him in public? Watch how he walk. He has no sense of balance, nothing. Can you imagine him on defense? You got to guard him, Steven. Oh. Dog, he fell from non-contact, running to get the ball. After he missed, he want to go get the ball. Oh, the ball. Slip. Oh! And down he went. Got no coordination of somebody who played basketball. His shadow game is terrible. You know, somebody be like, I'll be like this. He can't even do that right. He be, I'll be, Then I shoot the ball. I'm like, dude, your shadow game don't even. Your shadow game is terrible. How you missing shots in your shadow game? You losing the ball in your shadow game. Oh, man. He's losing the ball in his shadow game. Give me that. Yeah, okay, get it back. All right, here we go. Yeah, here it comes. Oh, dang, that's a little short. I got it. Look. This dude is a walking cliche. But I went through his entire network. He went and deleted or put in private those videos that wasn't successful on his show, the Stephen A. Smith show. Now he's secretly being backed by somebody because why is he allowed to promote on ESPN all of the things that he was saying? Like on ESPN, they promote join Stephen A. Smith on his own show called the Stephen A. Smith Show. See, by First Take doing that, they are making themselves liable for all of the things that he is saying on that show. Now, if he says the wrong goddamn thing on that show, and people could now bridge that ESPN and DraftKings and Stephen A. Smith into a lawsuit. ESPN now can be drug in because they promoted. See, 2 years ago, they gave him an executive producer spot on First Take, and Stephen A. didn't let it go to his head. I'm an executive producer now. Yeah, you just got that entitled, buddy. When you leave the network, you are not going to be able to take First Take with you, sir. That belongs to ESPN. So that was Skip Bayless' show, not yours. You were not there when it started, sir. I've been number one for 12 years. I've been number one for 12 years. Son, First Take was number one when it was cold pizza. Yeah, he gets an EP credit now. Mm-hmm. Well, when you don't like certain things going against you in a certain way, you don't push those narratives. You let those narratives play out the way they playing out. Oh, no. Oh, no, because LeBron James is not going to be someone that he just wants to change the narrative around. He wants everybody to see what's going on. What's going to go on is that LeBron them, they're not going to be in 10th. They're going to move all the way up to like 7th. So if they move LeBron James and the Lakers up to the 7th spot, they only get to play like one game and they win, they in, so you got to understand this. It's politics to this whole NBA now. It's like the Lakers are really title contenders now. Why? Because they beating up on OKC. OKC is a small team. They play small. You're supposed to beat them. If you're the Lakers, you match up well with them. Ryan Garcia is having a mental breakdown, but I do believe he was shown some things, not recently, but before. But Ryan Garcia is mentally messed up. So to see him in that position really just makes everybody shake their head in amazement. They just can't believe it. That's because they're trying to hack my PC. Whenever they start doing that, they start all this lagging. They start trying to hack my PC. And just imagine if I wasn't on StreamYard right now. Imagine if I didn't have a VPN working. Imagine if I didn't have any of the securities to protect this page. Where would we be right now? This is what you got to do. This is how crazy the game has gotten. So, anyway, we at the end right now. I'm finna get up out of here. Love, peace, and hair grease. Want to say shouts out to Dreamers Pro, Kwame Brown, Bus Life. Welcome to HDII TV, Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez, Ticket TV, and I'm out the door. Don't forget to follow if you like other news and politics. And information over there. And we're putting out the best work we can. There it is, One Crack News. I'm giving you the updates, and we will have an update on the hearing today that's going on about Fannie Willis. So that's going on today, so definitely pay attention to that. And we're out. Thanks all of y'all for your Cash App support. I support my brother, Solomon Hill, baby. He was just out there playing defense. It ain't his fault LeBron can't move his feet. It ain't his fault.